So who's meeting you here?
Just someone I met on the plane. Who sat next to me and we got talking.
Just talking, or we're just talking too?
Writer Peter Morgan and director Fernando Merielles lead us aboard the sexual carousel and through the squeaking sliding doors of romantic intrigue. 360 is a globe-hopping ensemble drama about fate and coincidence, bouncing from Vienna to Paris, Denver to London. Poor Rachel Weisz, Jude and Anthony Hopkins. They're going round and up and down, pulling faces in search of a climax.
He said, "Fastest, most powerful prayer in the world, my friend, is fuck it."
And we're joined again now as a happy bonus by Peter Bradshaw again. Peter, Anthony Hopkins says, "You only live once. How many chances do you get?" Did that strike a chord with you?
I gave this film 2 chances. I sat down, heaven help me, and watched it twice. I don't know what to say. It is the biggest car crash. It's a kind of multi-reputation pile-up. Unbelievable film. And I don't like to say this because I have in various points been a fan of Peter Morgan, who wrote the script, and Fernando Merielles, who directed it. But it just is awful. The performances are clenched and ill at ease. The writing is sluggish. There are all these false notes in it. This air of super sophistication is completely wrong. I should say it's sort of vaguely based on Arthur Schnitzler's stage play Le Ronde, which was a kind of merry-go-round of sexual liaison, starting with a prostitute and ending up with the same prostitute.
There's not much merriment here, though, is there?
No, nothing like that here. It's sort of like that. This is a sort of daisy chain of people's lives, not really necessarily based on sex, but beginning and ending with a prostitute.
Catherine, you were one of the very first people in the world to see this film in Toronto last year. Were you mesmerised?
I was very mesmerised. Actually, I remember at the screening I was at, there was a feedback problem through the last sort of 40 minutes, and you had this slowly amplifying sort of ominous buzz, and I thought it was sort of some effect to amp up the... In fact, it wasn't. But it's that kind of film where you don't realise, and I did give it a sort of very harsh review at the time, and then I got quite a lot of abuse for that, and because it opened the London Film Festival, and the then artistic director said my review was idiotic, and so I am, you know, it's not often one takes pleasure in a film being slated, but in this case,
I'm afraid it was the film that was idiotic. I'm afraid, and I'm not queuing up to put the boot into it because there are so many people who are very talented. As I say, I've got no animus against Peter Morgan. He's a very talented, clever bloke who wrote, you know, some very smart films, but unfortunately this isn't one of them. It feels to me like this is a film he's had in his desk drawer for ages, and then his later success encouraged him to maybe dig out some of his early stuff, his sort of juvenilia, and I think that might be a very bad move.
What about work? How should we do that? I mean, like total strangers?
We have to stop that too.
Oh. You know you promised to keep me in work, right? Said you would make me a star photographer and all that.
That was very irresponsible.